This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. As they continued their travel, Jesus entered a village. A woman by the name of Martha welcomed him and made him feel quite at home. She had a sister, Mary, who sat before the Master, hanging on every word he said. But Martha was pulled away by all she had to do in the kitchen. Later, she stepped in, interrupting them. "Master, don't you care that my sister has abandoned the kitchen to me? Tell her to lend me a hand." The Master said, "Martha, dear Martha, you're fussing far too much and getting yourself worked up over nothing. One thing only is essential, and Mary has chosen it. It's the main course, and won't be taken from her."
Reflections on the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. Today's Gospel presents the story of Martha and Mary. From the Gospel of John, we know that this was a family of 3 siblings, Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, and their house was in Bethany. Today's episode speaks of Martha, who felt annoyed with her sister Mary for not helping her with the household chores, and she complains about her to Jesus. The Gospel stresses on the significance of being at the feet of the Master, to listen to him, to listen to the Word of God, before we get engrossed in our missionary commitments and activities. However, the passage has a much deeper meaning, and Luke expected his community to take note of the social change and spiritual renewal that Jesus intends to bring about. Today's Gospel says that Jesus and his disciples were on their way together, and a woman called Martha welcomed Jesus to her house. But how about the disciples? Were they not welcomed by Martha? When the authors of the Gospels introduced the family of the siblings, they only spoke of the brother and the sisters. They did not mention about parents, spouses, or children. The family in Bethany represents the Christian community of brothers and sisters. That's why Luke does not mention the disciples entering the house. Here they are the hosts of the Lord. In Jewish culture, the men of the family welcomed and took care of guests, while women remained inside the house and would not appear before the guests. But with Jesus, Luke presents a role reversal. There is no distinction between men and women in the world of Jesus. The second sister, Mary, sat at the feet of the Lord to listen to his words. Sitting at the feet of the Master was an expression that indicated the act of a disciple learning from a rabbi. Here Luke presents Mary as a disciple who learns from the Master. Once again, in Jewish culture, no rabbi would accept women as their students. However, Jesus changes the existing world order. It is the beginning of a new world. All prejudices and discriminations are denounced and overcome by Jesus. Luke mentions this incident as a lesson of catechesis to Christian communities of the past and of today. There are many people of goodwill who dedicate themselves to the service of Christ and the brothers and sisters. They are generous with their time, effort, and money. Yet, even in this intense and generous activity, there lurks a danger. They consider listening to the Word of God as something secondary. When the Word of God does not guide our apostolic commitment, communitarian choices, and pastoral projects, they lead us to anxiety, confusion, and nervousness, just like that of Martha.